Tonight, I want you to give yourself permission to stop trying to figure everything out. Not forever, not because the things on your mind don't matter, and not because you're giving up, just for tonight. Because sometimes the mind has a difficult time recognizing when the day is over. Your body may be tired, your eyes may be heavy, the room may be quiet, but your thoughts are still working, still reviewing, still calculating, still replaying conversations, still imagining what could happen, still thinking about what should have happened, still wondering what you need to do next. And maybe you're lying there telling yourself that if you think about it just a little bit longer, you'll finally find the answer. Maybe one more thought will make everything clear. Maybe one more scenario will help you prepare. Maybe one more review of that conversation will tell you what someone really meant. Maybe one more hour of worrying will somehow make tomorrow easier. But there are some things that do not become clear simply because we think about them longer. Sometimes clarity comes after rest. Sometimes perspective arrives in the morning. Sometimes the answer you've been chasing cannot reach you because your mind is too tired to recognize it. So tonight, you don't have to figure everything out. You can simply be here. You can let this day be finished. There may still be unfinished tasks, unanswered messages, unresolved situations, decisions you haven't made, things you wish you had handled differently, things you're still waiting to hear about. But the day can still be over even when everything isn't complete. That's important to remember. Your life does not have to be perfectly organized before you're allowed to rest. You do not have to earn sleep by solving every problem. You do not have to make tomorrow safe before you close your eyes tonight. You're allowed to pause. Maybe you're thinking about your career, wondering whether you're moving in the right direction, wondering if you should stay where you are, wondering if you should take a chance, wondering why things haven't happened as quickly as you expected. You may be comparing your progress to someone else's, thinking about where you thought you would be by now, questioning whether you made the right choices. And those thoughts can feel very important late at night. Everything can feel more permanent when you're tired. A temporary problem can start feeling like your entire future. A difficult week can start feeling like a difficult life. A setback can suddenly feel like proof that nothing is working. But this moment is not the whole story. You're looking at your life from one small point in time. There are things ahead of you that you cannot see from where you are tonight. There are conversations you haven't had yet, people you haven't met, ideas you haven't considered, opportunities you don't know exist, changes that haven't happened. You don't need to predict all of them. You just need to allow tomorrow to arrive. Maybe what's keeping you awake is money, bills, responsibilities, something unexpected, a financial decision you're worried about, the pressure of trying to make everything work. Money worries can make rest feel irresponsible. Your mind starts calculating, adding, subtracting, planning, trying to protect you. And there may be real things that need your attention. But if you are lying in bed right now, there's probably very little you can solve in this exact moment. You can care about your responsibilities and still rest. You can take your situation seriously without carrying it every second of the night. Tomorrow, you can look at those numbers again. Tomorrow, you can make the phone call. Tomorrow, you can create the plan. Tomorrow, you can take the next step. But tonight, you can give your mind permission to stop working the night shift. Maybe you're thinking about someone, a relationship, a friend, someone you miss, someone who disappointed you, someone whose behavior you don't understand. Maybe there was a conversation you keep replaying. You're remembering their tone, their words, your words, what you should have said, what you wish you hadn't said. And your mind keeps returning to the scene as though somewhere inside that memory there is a hidden answer. But you don't have to solve another person tonight. You don't have to understand every choice they made. You don't have to decide the future of the relationship while you're exhausted. You certainly don't have to determine your worth based on someone else's behavior. Some conversations need time. Some emotions need space. Some situations look completely different when we are rested. So whatever happened today, you can leave it where it happened. You don't have to bring every conversation into bed with you. Maybe what you're carrying tonight is regret. Something you did, something you didn't do, a mistake, a missed opportunity, a moment you keep wishing you could change. And perhaps your mind believes that replaying it is somehow a form of responsibility. As though if you feel bad enough, think long enough, or criticize yourself enough, you can somehow rewrite what already happened. You cannot heal yesterday by punishing yourself tonight. You can learn. You can apologize if necessary. You can make a different decision next time. You can grow. But growth does not require you to spend the night attacking yourself. You are allowed to become wiser without becoming cruel toward the person you used to be. You did what you knew how to do at the time. And if you know more now, then tomorrow gives you another opportunity to use that knowledge. That is enough. Maybe there is simply too much happening at once. Not one big problem, just many small things, responsibilities, people needing something from you, things to remember, appointments, work, family, messages, plans, expectations, and somewhere in the middle of taking care of everything, you forgot that you are a person who also needs care. You are not a machine that can run indefinitely. Rest is not wasted time. Rest is part of how you continue. You are allowed to have limits. You are allowed to say, that is enough for today. Even if your list is not finished. Even if someone is waiting. Even if tomorrow will be busy. Tonight still belongs to you. So imagine that every concern you brought into this room could be placed somewhere beside you. You don't have to throw anything away. You don't have to pretend it doesn't exist. Just place it down, one by one. The decision you haven't made yet, put it down. The conversation you keep replaying, put it down. The person you cannot understand, put that down too. The money concern, the work problem, the thing you forgot, the thing you wish you could change, the fear about what happens next. Put each one down. They will still be available tomorrow if they need your attention. You do not have to hold everything while you sleep. And now notice what happens when you stop demanding answers from yourself. Maybe there is a little bit more room, a little more quiet, a little more space between your thoughts. You don't have to force your mind to become completely silent. That can create even more pressure. If a thought appears, let it appear. You can notice it without following it. You can say to yourself, that is something for tomorrow. And then return here, to your breathing, to the weight of your body resting where you are, to the quiet around you, to this moment that is asking nothing from you. You are here. You made it through today. Whatever kind of day it was, productive or difficult, peaceful or frustrating, successful or messy, you made it to this moment, and you are allowed to be done. So let these words settle gently. I have done enough for today. I do not need every answer tonight. I am allowed to leave some things unfinished. I can care deeply without worrying constantly. I can be responsible and still rest. I do not need to predict tomorrow. I can handle tomorrow when tomorrow arrives. My life is still unfolding. There are possibilities I cannot see yet. There are answers that may become clearer with time. One difficult moment does not define my future. One mistake does not define who I am. One unanswered question does not mean something is wrong. I do not have to understand everything right now. I'm allowed to trust the process of my own life. I am allowed to rest while things are still being worked out. I can release what I cannot change tonight. I can return to what matters when I am rested. I can begin again tomorrow. And if part of you is still resisting, if there is still a voice saying, but what about this? What about that? What if something goes wrong? What if I forget? You can gently answer that voice. I hear you. We will deal with it tomorrow. Not every thought requires immediate action. Not every fear is a warning. Not every unanswered question is an emergency. Sometimes a thought is simply a tired mind trying to protect you. You can thank your mind for trying, and then remind it that you are safe enough to rest. There will be time tomorrow, time to think, time to decide, time to respond, time to plan, time to change direction if necessary. You do not need tomorrow's strength tonight. You only need enough softness to let this day go. So allow your shoulders to relax. Let your jaw loosen. Let your hands relax. Let your breathing happen naturally. Nothing needs to be forced. You don't have to perform relaxation correctly. You don't have to try to fall asleep. Just allow yourself to stop solving. For this moment, there is nowhere else you need to be. Nothing else you need to accomplish. No one you need to impress. No version of yourself you need to become before you can rest. You can simply exist. And maybe tomorrow will bring an answer. Maybe it won't. Maybe something you're worried about will become easier. Maybe you'll realize you were carrying something that was never yours to carry. Maybe you'll see a possibility you couldn't see tonight. Maybe you'll simply feel stronger because you finally allowed yourself to sleep. You don't need to know which one it will be. Tomorrow can surprise you. Life is allowed to unfold without your constant supervision. And before this day ends, I want you to remember you are more than what you accomplished today. You are more than the problem you're trying to solve. You are more than someone else's opinion of you. You are more than the mistake you keep thinking about. You are more than the uncertainty you feel. You are a person living through a moment, and moments change. Circumstances change. Feelings change. Perspectives change. Life keeps moving. So you don't have to make permanent conclusions from temporary emotions. You don't have to decide that everything is falling apart because tonight feels heavy. Sometimes you're simply tired, and tired minds deserve compassion, not interrogation. So let tonight be simple. No solving, no judging, no rehearsing tomorrow, no rewriting yesterday. Just rest. If something needs your attention, you can meet it when the sun comes up. If a decision needs to be made, you can make it with a clearer mind. If a conversation needs to happen, you can have it when you have more energy. If a problem needs solving, you can take it one step at a time. But you don't have to meet tomorrow tonight. Tomorrow knows how to arrive on its own. For now, breathe, rest, let the room be quiet, let the day be finished. You have carried enough. You have thought enough. You have done enough. Whatever is waiting for you tomorrow, let it wait. Tonight you are allowed to rest, and whatever you haven't figured out yet can remain unanswered for a little while longer. You're still okay. Your story is still moving. There is still time. And tonight, you don't have to figure everything out. Good night.